Have you ever dreamed of someone who has passed away? Maybe you've seen your father, your mother, or another relative who has left this world. You might have had these dreams and forgotten them by the time you woke up, but have you ever wondered what they mean? Dreaming of the dead isn't just a random occurrence. It carries a deeper meaning, the hidden message. Now let's explore this fascinating subject and uncover the secrets behind seeing deceased loved ones in dreams. So, let's begin. Have you ever wondered why some families flourish generation after generation while others fall apart? Do you sometimes think about the blessings your ancestors might have left behind for you? These are not just abstract ideas or traditions, but real powerful forces that shape our lives. Now, we'll explore 5 important lessons inspired by Acharya Chanakya's wisdom and the story we just heard. Respect for ancestors, fulfilling one's Dharma, practicing generosity, avoiding greed, and staying united as a family. Lesson 1. Respect for ancestors. Let's begin with this question. How often do we think about our ancestors, those who paved the way for our existence? Acharya Chanakya emphasized that forgetting one's roots is like a tree cutting itself off from the soil. Imagine a tree without roots. How long would it survive? Similarly, neglecting our ancestors not only disrespects their memory, but also disrupts the blessings and values they passed on. The businessman in our story is a prime example. He inherited immense wealth but ignored the rituals and respect owed to his ancestors. As a result, his prosperity turned into ruin. Why? Because wealth without gratitude loses its power. Chanakya taught that when we honor our ancestors through rituals like Shraddha, Tarpan, or even simple acts of remembrance, we strengthen the bond between the past, present, and future. Think about this. In your own life, have you ever experienced moments where things seemed to go wrong despite your efforts? Maybe, just maybe, it's time to reconnect with your roots and show respect to those who came before us. Lesson 2. Dharma and duty. Now ask yourself, what does it mean to fulfill your duty? Is it just about working hard, or does it include something deeper? Chanakya defined Dharma as the moral responsibility we owe to ourselves, our family, and society. It's not just about rituals or religion. It's about doing what's right. The businessman failed in his Dharma by neglecting the sacred duties toward his ancestors. Dharma is like a lamp that guides us through life's darkness. When we ignore it, we invite chaos and misfortune. Think of your daily actions. Are they aligned with your values and responsibilities? Dharma isn't just about the big things. It's in the small acts of kindness, honesty, and service. Acharya Chanakya believed that Dharma ensures the balance of life. Just as the sun rises and sets to maintain the rhythm of nature, fulfilling our duties keeps harmony in our lives. If we abandon these duties, like the businessman did, we risk losing the blessings of life itself. Lesson 3. Generosity and charity. Here's another question. Do you believe in the power of giving? Not just giving to earn praise or recognition, but giving as an act of pure kindness. Chanakya once said, "Wealth grows when it is shared, and stagnates when it is hoarded." The businessman in our story hoarded his wealth, but never used it to help others. Compare this to his ancestors, who earned respect and blessings through charity. Generosity is not just about money. It's about time, love, and effort. When you give, you plant seeds of prosperity, not just for yourself, but for generations to come. Think about the happiest moments in your life. Chances are, they involved some form of giving. When we donate, whether it's food to the hungry or education to the needy, we create a ripple effect of positivity. Remember, true wealth lies not in how much we have, but in how much we share. Lesson 4. The consequences of greed. Now, reflect on this. How much is enough? Is there a point where our desire for more becomes harmful? Chanakya warned that greed is like fire. It consumes everything in its path, including the one who feeds it. The businessman's insatiable greed blinded him to his responsibilities. He forgot the simple truth that wealth is a means, not an end. When greed takes over, It destroys not just wealth, but also relationships, peace of mind, and moral values. We see this around us even today. Families torn apart over property disputes, businesses ruined by unethical practices. The lesson here is clear. Greed doesn't lead to happiness. Instead, contentment and ethical living bring lasting peace. Ask yourself, are you chasing what truly matters, or are you running after illusions of success? Lesson 5. The power of unity. Finally, consider this. What makes a family or a community strong? Is it wealth, status, or something deeper? Chanakya believed that unity is the foundation of strength. A single stick can be broken easily, but a bundle of sticks remains unbreakable. In the beginning, the businessman's family thrived because they stayed united. But greed and selfishness led to division, and they lost everything. This isn't just a story, it's a reality for many families today. Disputes over wealth, ego clashes, or lack of communication weaken the bond that holds families together. Unity doesn't mean agreeing on everything. It means standing together despite differences. It means finding common ground and working towards shared goals. Think of your own family or team. Are you strengthening those bonds, or are you letting small disagreements tear them apart? Remember, when we stand united, we can overcome any challenge. Friends, these lessons, respect for ancestors, fulfilling one's Dharma, practicing generosity, avoiding greed, and staying united, are timeless. They are as relevant today as they were in Chanakya's time. Each of these principles holds the power to transform not just our lives, but the lives of those around us. Let's reflect on them deeply as we continue this journey of understanding and growth. Let me continue the journey. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract blessings while others face endless struggles? What separates a fulfilled life from one filled with regret? Now let's continue exploring timeless lessons from Acharya Chanakya's wisdom, focusing on the next 5 points. Gratitude, learning from signs, maintaining balance, avoiding conflicts, and living a disciplined life. Each of these is a key to unlocking happiness and success, not just for ourselves, but for future generations too. Lesson 6. The power of gratitude. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you paused and truly felt grateful for what you have? Not just for material things, but for the people in your life, the opportunities you've received, and even the struggles that made you stronger. Acharya Chanakya said, "Gratitude is the foundation of happiness." In our story, the businessman failed to show gratitude toward his ancestors. He took their sacrifices for granted, and as a result, lost everything they worked so hard to build. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's about acknowledging the invisible support systems that make our lives possible. Think of your parents, teachers, or mentors. Have you thanked them recently? Gratitude is a simple yet powerful practice. It not only strengthens relationships, but also attracts more positivity into our lives. When we are grateful, we shift our focus from what's missing to what's already abundant. This shift changes everything. Lesson 7. Learning from signs. Now, here's a question. Do you believe in signs? Do you think the universe, or even your own subconscious, tries to guide you when you're going off track? Chanakya emphasized the importance of being alert and learning from subtle cues in life. In the story, the businessman's ancestors appeared in dreams to warn him, but he ignored the signs. How often do we do the same? Life often gives us warnings, an unexpected setback, a conversation that makes us reflect, or even a gut feeling. Yet we dismiss these signs as coincidences. Chanakya taught that wisdom lies in being observant and open to lessons, even when they come in unexpected forms. The next time life sends you a sign, don't ignore it. Ask yourself, is there something I need to change, learn, or improve? By staying alert, you can avoid pitfalls and seize opportunities. Lesson 8. Maintaining balance in life. Let me ask you, do you feel balanced in your life? Or are you constantly pulled in different directions, trying to juggle too many responsibilities? Acharya Chanakya believed that balance is the key to lasting peace and success. The businessman in our story lacked balance. He focused entirely on accumulating wealth, ignoring his responsibilities toward his family, society, and spiritual well-being. This imbalance led to his downfall. Balance doesn't mean doing everything equally. It means giving the right attention to what truly matters. Reflect on your own life. Are you prioritizing your health, relationships, and personal growth, or are you caught up in the endless pursuit of external goals? Balance allows you to enjoy life without losing sight of your values. Lesson 9. Avoiding conflicts. Have you noticed how small disagreements can escalate into major conflicts if left unresolved? Why do we let our egos and misunderstandings create divisions, especially among family and friends? Chanakya taught that avoiding unnecessary conflicts is a sign of wisdom. In the story, the businessman and his brothers allowed greed to poison their relationships. Instead of resolving their differences, they drifted apart, and their family fell apart. Conflict is natural, but how we handle it defines our character. Ask yourself, do you approach disagreements with a desire to understand or to dominate? The next time you face a conflict, pause and reflect. Is it worth damaging a relationship over pride or temporary anger? Choose resolution over resentment, and you'll find peace not just with others, but also within yourself. Lesson 10. Living a disciplined life. Here's a final question for now. How disciplined are you in your daily life? Do you stick to routines and principles, or do you let distractions and laziness take over? Chanakya said, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievements. Without discipline, even the most talented individuals fail." The businessman lacked discipline, not just in his financial dealings but in his personal values. He ignored rituals, avoided charity, and lived without a sense of purpose. This lack of discipline cost him everything. In our own lives, discipline might look like sticking to a morning routine, setting aside time for family, or consistently pursuing long-term goals. It's not always easy, but it's always rewarding. Discipline creates structure, and structure creates success. Think of your own habits. Are they building the life you want, or are they holding you back? Friends, these lessons, gratitude, learning from signs, maintaining balance, avoiding conflicts, and living a disciplined life, are like a compass. They guide us through the complexities of life and ensure we stay on the right path. As we reflect on these principles, let's strive to implement them in our own lives, one step at a time. Now again, let me ask you something. Have you ever asked yourself what it truly means to live a meaningful life? What brings genuine happiness and fulfillment? Is it wealth, power, relationships, or something deeper? Now, as we conclude our exploration of Acharya Chanakya's timeless wisdom, we'll discuss 5 final principles: forgiveness, self-reflection, giving back to society, the importance of rituals, and spiritual growth. These teachings hold the power to transform not just your life, but the lives of everyone you touch. Lesson 11. The power of forgiveness. Let's start with a question. When someone wrongs you, do you find it easy to forgive, or do you hold on to grudges? Most of us struggle with forgiveness, yet Chanakya believed it to be one of the greatest virtues. He said, "Forgiveness purifies the soul." In our story, the businessman's ancestors forgave him despite his neglect. They didn't curse him. Instead, they tried to guide him through dreams. Forgiveness isn't about condoning bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of anger and resentment. Ask yourself, who in your life needs your forgiveness? And is there someone you need to ask forgiveness from? Holding on to bitterness only harms you. When you forgive, you open your heart to healing and peace. Forgiveness is not a weakness. It's a sign of inner strength. Lesson 12. The importance of self-reflection. Now, let me ask, how often do you pause to reflect on your actions and their consequences? In today's fast-paced world, we rarely take the time to evaluate our choices. Yet, Chanakya believed that self-reflection is the foundation of wisdom. In the story, the businessman only realized his mistakes after losing everything. But why wait for a crisis to self-reflect? Imagine if he had paused earlier to consider the signs his ancestors were sending. How much suffering could he have avoided? Make it a habit to reflect daily. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? How can I improve tomorrow? Reflection is not about guilt. It's about growth. When you understand your actions, you gain the power to change your future. Lesson 13. Giving back to society. Here's a thought. What legacy will you leave behind? Will people remember you for your kindness and contributions, or for what you took from the world? Chanakya taught that giving back to society is a duty, not an option. In the story, the businessman's ancestors were generous and charitable, which brought prosperity to their family. But when he stopped giving, everything fell apart. Wealth, when hoarded, becomes a curse. But when shared, it multiplies blessings. Look around you. Is there someone you can help today? A neighbor, a colleague, or even a stranger? Giving isn't just about money. It can be your time, skills, or even a kind word. When you contribute to society, you create a ripple effect of positivity that comes back to you in ways you can't imagine. Lesson 14. Honoring rituals and traditions. Do you see value in the traditions and rituals passed down through generations, or do you think they're outdated? Chanakya believed that rituals connect us to our roots and provide a sense of stability and purpose. In the story, the businessman ignored ancestral rituals, which angered his forebears. But when he and his brothers finally performed the rites, peace and prosperity returned to their lives. Rituals aren't just symbolic. They remind us of our responsibilities and connect us to something greater than ourselves. Whether it's a family tradition, a cultural celebration, or a personal practice, honor it. These rituals are a way to express gratitude, seek guidance, and strengthen bonds with those who came before us. They ground us in values that endure through time. Lesson 15. The journey of spiritual growth. Finally, let me ask you, do you feel connected to your spiritual self, or do you find yourself lost in the distractions of daily life? Chanakya emphasized that true happiness lies in spiritual growth. He said, "The soul's journey is eternal. Nurture it wisely." In the story, the businessman's ancestors achieved peace only when their spiritual needs were addressed. Similarly, we cannot find fulfillment through material gains alone. Spiritual growth requires us to look inward, to understand our purpose, and to align our actions with higher principles. This doesn't mean you have to renounce the world. Spiritual growth can be as simple as practicing mindfulness, helping others, or seeking knowledge. It's about realizing that life is more than just survival. It's about striving to become the best version of yourself. Friends, these principles, forgiveness, self-reflection, giving back, honoring rituals, and spiritual growth are not abstract ideas. They are practical tools for living a meaningful life. As we integrate them into our daily actions, we don't just improve our own lives. We create a legacy that inspires others to do the same. Friends, as we come to the end of this journey through the timeless wisdom of Acharya Chanakya, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've explored. These principles aren't just ancient teachings. They are practical guidelines that hold relevance even today. They remind us that life is a delicate balance of action, responsibility, and inner growth. In our first part, we discussed the importance of humility, valuing family, and heeding signs from the world around us. These lessons teach us to stay grounded and connected, to listen deeply to the voices of those who care for us, and to respect the subtle ways life guides us. In the second part, we delved into the need for gratitude, the value of legacy, and the wisdom of harmony in relationships. These principles help us understand that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the richness of human connections and the grace of a thankful heart. Finally, we reflected on forgiveness, self-reflection, giving back to society, honoring traditions, and nurturing spiritual growth. These ideas illuminate the path to inner peace and fulfillment, encouraging us to live not just for ourselves, but for the greater good. The beauty of Chanakya's teachings is that they transcend time. They are as relevant now as they were centuries ago, guiding us toward a life of purpose and balance. The real challenge, however, lies in living these principles, not just hearing them, but applying them every single day. As we part ways today, I invite you to take these lessons with you and make them a part of your life. Reflect on them, share them, and most importantly, live them. For in doing so, you'll not only enrich your own journey, but also inspire others to find meaning in theirs. Thank you for joining me on this journey of wisdom and self-discovery. Let's step forward with renewed purpose and the determination to live a life that honors the values we've learned. The power to change your life is in your hands.